Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do the first of many videos that we're going to have here, and the main topic of this are going to be the seismic gaps of the whole world, and where are they, and which regions are most at risk. We are going to start here in Northern America, and from this we're going to go eastwards. So first of all, what is a seismic gap? So a seismic gap is basically a concept in geology, in seismology more precisely, that describes a part of a fault line, which is, the fracture of the Earth's crust. We can see here that the Earth in many parts of the world has these fractures, which are the cause of the earthquakes in the Earth crust. And there are many types of these earthquakes, and you have here in the subduction zones, for example, here in Japan, as everyone should know, there's a subduction zone here, which is the Japanese megathrust. There's also here the Nankai thrust, and this is a type of fault line. But there are lots of different types of seismic fault lines. For example, here is the Kunlun fault in the Tibet region, and we have also the Sagaing fault here in Myanmar, which was responsible for the last year earthquake in the center of the country, which was truly devastating and had a very long rupture. So, what seismic gaps are we going to cover? As I said, the seismic gaps are the parts of these fault lines that are not broken yet. So to identify them, we will have to see which ruptures happened in the last years or many years ago, and identify those parts that haven't seen a very big earthquake in a long time, so they are likely to be the next part of the fault line to rupture. So as I cannot cover every single fault line in the world, for example, we are going to exclude the subduction zones. That is maybe another topic for another type of video. And we are also going to exclude many fault lines in many parts of the world, like for example here or here, which are not in the boundaries of the plate tectonics, because the Earth is divided in plate tectonics, and there are some fault lines that are more active than others. That is because there are fault lines, like for example the Kunlun fault here, which concentrates the majority of the plate movement, at least horizontally here in the Tibet. But there's also the Sagaing fault, which is the strike slip motion, that is the plates sliding past another, which is here the Indian plate and the China Southeastern Asia plate, which can also be called the Burma plate, but it depends whether you put the division of each tectonic plate or microplate rather, because there are many units in some parts of the world. The tectonic complexity can be quite relevant. There are many things in for example this region, that it's not just the strike slip fault line, and so on. So what are going to have here? For example, there are many earthquakes in the recent years that happened. This one is the 2001 Kunlun earthquake, which broke more than 400 kilometers in the Tibet plateau. It didn't cause any fatality that I know of, but it was certainly like a very big earthquake. Magnitude was at least 7.79 or 7.8, rounded up, and the movement of the fault, it took almost 6 meters along the entire for more than 400 kilometers. So this is the example since the in the 21st century, but we have many others. Like for example, here we have 2002, and the next year Denali, also very big, 7.9 earthquake, which was a complex rupture. And we can also have here in West Papua, but more recently we have, for example, the 2016, sorry, in Kaikoura, which is a hell of a rupture, which ruptured like many strike lip and thrust faults, but are all the same on the strike lip zone here in the New Zealand area, which is the Alpine Fault and the North Island fault system. So as you can see, here I have listed like many types of earthquakes, not only strike lip, but I highlighted here those that are from the transform boundaries, that is, the strike lips that mark the boundaries between the different tectonic plates. For example, here is the 2018 Palu earthquake, which was a truly devastating event. It killed more than 5,000 people, sorry. There is also the 2020 Oriente fault in the Caribbean, which didn't cause much destruction because it was in a part of the Caribbean Sea, but the fault line covers this part of Cuba and maybe the also northern part of Hispaniola. There is also Jamaica here. So, and of course we have the infamous 2023 Kahraman Maras earthquake sequence, which was one of two very big earthquakes here in southern Turkey, which we all know that caused very destruction and thousands and thousands of deaths. Antakya here, the city got truly destroyed by the rupture. It was a 7.8, maybe 7.9 rupture, and triggered another rupture here in the Kardak fault here at the northern end. And the most recent one is the 2025 Sagaing earthquake that happened here in the country of Myanmar in Southeast Asia. This was probably one of the biggest strike lip ruptures we have in recent time. It was measured 7.7 by USGS, but many agencies point out that it was at least a 7.8 or 7.9, or maybe even higher. It ruptured almost 500 kilometers of the Sagaing fault, which is a fault that runs through the middle of the country. It killed more than 5,000 people here in many cities like Sagaing here, Mandalay, and of course the many towns in the countryside, and there is of course here in the capital Naypyidaw. So basically what we have here is every year and so we have a very big rupture in some of these very long strike lips fault lines. So we have to see whether the next earthquakes can happen. How can we find those? Well, it's very simple, just looking at the parts that are not ruptured, like I said before. We're going to search about these seismic gaps, and we are going to see many parts where this can happen. So without further ado, we're going to erase this carpet right here. So I'm going to take this carpet here now, and we're going to start the series over with the next video. And we were going to have here, we're going to start in the Alaska Pacific Northwest Canada region, which is a region with many strike slip movement between the North American plate and the Pacific plate. and we'll continue with San Andreas and so on. So I hope you guys like this introduction. I feel free to answer many questions that you ask in the comments, or any suggestions you have to do me in private, or some things that I can improve or explain further. And after this video, we were going to start the series on the seismic gap of strike lips, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.